Hi everyone, it's Marc from CricketBatInfo, and today we're going to be having a look at this bat here. This is a Robinson's Pro Edition, and this is in the Rohit Sharma profile, or their interpretation of it. Straight after this. So if you're new to the channel, it's the first time you're looking at this channel, what I do is I review cricket bats in depth. I don't concentrate so much on what the price is. I look at the bat making. I tell you about what I think, what's good and what's bad, and I'll give you a pretty unbiased opinion just on my experience of a particular bat made by a particular brand. If you like what I do, then stick around to the end and consider hitting like or dislike and subscribing to the channel. We're trying to get to 10,000 this year. So this bat has actually been supplied by the same bloke who supplied me literally dozens and dozens of bat over the years. And we're going all the way back to one of the earliest ones, the Warsop, which was probably his first. So really thank you very much to, I'll name him David, Power Play on the Discord server. And he's been with the channel since day one, picked it up and loves buying really incredible bats. Getting me to knock them, and then he goes down the nets, gets proper training and coaching, and tries every single bat and absolutely loves it. So well done to David, thank you very much. So this is a Robinson Sports Rohit Sharma profile, and you would have seen the CEAT Rohit Sharma, the original one which is pre-regulation. So this is their interpretation of the modern shape, and I will bring that bat in at the end just to compare the sheer size of it. But let's focus on this for now. We've got here an edge leading up into a mid to mid-low profile, and that spine drawing down a lot lower than previous shapes. But remember, this is an interpretation. This is one bat maker's interpretation. I don't know if they make for Rohit. Remember that CEAT actually is like MRF. They actually contract out their bat production on a year-by-year basis, maybe month by month, to all the different quality bat makers who can actually do the quantities that they need, and they probably sell a lot of bats. So at some point, you would expect that Robinsons have actually made the current shape, and they can recreate it. So this is their recreation of the current shape, which is a lot different to the previous one, and hell, I'll just bring that in just to show you how things have changed. So, look, it's very similar. When you look at it that way, you can see that edge profile, but I do think that the spine draws much higher, and there's a lot more going on up top on this original CEAT Hitman. The handle inserts are totally different on this, so I know that wasn't made by Robinsons. So this part of it is very much similar. This part here probably goes a little bit further down, but you know, they had to take wood out, and because of the spine restrictions they have to do something. So let's have a look at exactly what the shape is doing. So the first thing, that spine is quite tall, and we've got here a fair bit of concaving going on, probably 2 mil. And the other thing I noticed immediately is that it has been narrowed a bit on the gauge towards the back of the bat, like I've seen in some other bats. It's a lot narrower at the top than it is as you get down towards the bottom. So that is one thing I did notice. I have knocked this bat, and you know, I've got my a strong opinion. I think it's a great bat. Let's have a look at the grains first. We've got a bit of heartwood running down the right-hander's inside edge with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and a 10th grain. So perfect. A little bit of marbling, or yeah, some marbling up here, but no real blemishes in the playing area. When we look at the edge here, I think that's a little bit of a pin knot, but way behind the pressing line, and you've got a few little pin knots here. It's nothing. So that's that. The shape itself, you know, it's all about getting as much wood and spine into that hitting area, but also drawing it high. And as you would have seen with the CEAT, it goes all over the place once it's pressed correctly, because you've just got so much edge and depth all the way through. So it really has a big hitting area, this profile, as well as being quite lethal in that. mid-low position. So let's have a look at the specs. Start here at the edge and 40 mil straight off. The shoulders are nearly 16. In the center here, we've got 36. Down here at the toe, I'll just bring that closer for me. I've got 24.6, and in the center of the toe, 29.6. As far as bow goes, there's a little bit of bow, but not as prodigious as I've seen in some other bats, and whether or not it's the same sort of bow, it's fairly similar to the CEAT. So a lot thicker in the shoulders, this particular profile, than the CEAT, so you could argue that's an improvement, but it's also because it's had that narrowing. Spine height, well look, I mean I can measure it, but I'm expecting it to be somewhere around 67. I am absolutely roasting in the shed today. Yeah, 67. So yeah, really high spine. But obviously one thing I did find is the width, and I will show you that. Remembering that the scuff sheet has gone on, it's 106.5, and we go down to 105.5. So that edge tape is adding nearly a millimetre. So edge tape on both sides plus the scuff sheet. So that's a little bit disappointing, and I know that I've said before, if the bat's performing, you're really going to quibble about a couple of millimetres. I mean, the whole point of batting is to hit the middle of the bat, not the edges. Let's move this out and we'll do some more comparisons. Firstly, the weight and pickup. So the bat feels pretty nice actually. The pickup is really nice. It actually feels like a 2.8.5 in my hands towards 2.9. Yeah, really nice pickup. And obviously we've added a bit of shoe goo, as you can see there. I didn't show you the profile from the front, so let's have a look at that. You can see those lovely straight grains running straight through. The B-roll that I've got was actually taken before it had to be knocked in, and that was because of the fact that I got some facts mixed up on the other bat. I filmed two together, now I'm doing them individually. So when you look at the B-roll, that's actually before it was knocked. Let's see what it weighs. It's 210. Yeah, it definitely is a lot better pickup than its weight, as opposed to the Kohli that I did from Robinson's. So I do like the pickup. Maybe they narrow it to achieve that rather than putting more scalloping in. And that's the question. You know, if you had a more concaving than that, but a wider bat, would you be happy? The handle shape is exactly the same as the other one. Beautiful oval shape and slightly semi-oval at the top. I really like the shape of the handles. Different grip. They actually supplied that horrid scuff I talked about in the previous video. This is actually the one that came with it. You can watch that video. There'll be a link in the description. That's the Robinson Sports signature in the Kohli. But they actually supplied the bat with both the scuff sheet and an extra grip for both bats, which I think is really nice. So they do look after their customers. I've got a playlist and it's well nearing 70 different videos just supplied by this gentleman. So, you know, if you just appreciate that, hit like and, you know, send him a message of thanks for all the nice bats you've been able to see over the years, because it's really excellent. Let's tap the bat up and see how it goes now that it's actually knocked in. So, much shorter stickers than the CEAT. So it is actually sort of going a little bit there, in that mid position there, but I told you before that that spine doesn't draw as high up, so it's more in this sort of area here you're getting most of its ping, but there's still some work there. The bat, you know, I've just finished knocking this, and those extra grains make a bat far more stiff, and I think it just needs a bit of time in the nets to really loosen up that handle. I think it's going to be a fine bat. So yeah, that's the Pro Edition in the Rohit Sharma, their interpretation of. That's been knocked in by me, and thank you very much to the owner. And this has been CricketBatInfo, Robinson Sports.